Before you press play, understand one thing. The universe is vast, and you are small. We often look to the stars for confirmation of our existence. The crew of Buoy 7 looked to the depths and found silence. Silence that taught them a terrible, fundamental truth. This is not a ghost story. This is the sound of cosmic indifference. Prepare your mind for Void Logs. Entry 1. The sound. It started with a breakthrough, a discovery that would change everything we knew about cetacean communication. We were in the deep-sea listening post, a tiny sphere of titanium suspended miles beneath the surface, cataloging the songs of humpback whales. But this one was different. We'd isolated a signal, a sonic signature so complex, so intricate, it defied all known patterns. Most whale songs have repeating motifs, phrases that loop and evolve. This didn't repeat. It was an infinitely complex, non-recursive acoustic sequence. We'd found a signal with an informational density that was, for lack of a better term, infinite. The data streamed in, terabytes of it, and none of it, not a single waveform, ever appeared twice. It was like listening to a story that never ended, a song that was being composed in real time, just for us. The initial excitement was electric. We were convinced we were on the verge of understanding a language far more complex than our own. We were mapping the very syntax of the ocean. Then the anomalies began. Our hydrophones, sensitive enough to pick up a shrimp snapping its claws a mile away, started registering frequencies that shouldn't exist. The first readings showed infrasonic pulses, deep, resonating hums far below the 20 Hz threshold of human hearing. We dismissed it as seismic activity, deep earth groans from the mid-Atlantic ridge. But the pulses weren't random. They were structured, synchronized perfectly with the non-repeating whale song like a percussive bass line. The equipment registered them as negative decibels. That's not a thing. Sound can't have negative volume. Can't be quieter than silence. The signal wasn't just low. It was an acoustic void, a pressure differential that inverted upon itself. It wasn't a sound wave. It was a wave of anti-sound, pulling energy from the water around it. The computers started glitching, trying to make sense of data that violated the foundational laws of physics. We were recording the impossible, a sound that subtracted from reality. That's when the true terror set in. It wasn't just in the headphones anymore. I could feel it. The low-frequency hums, the ones that shouldn't exist, began to have a physical effect. The perfect sphere of our submersible started to feel wrong. I looked at the bulkhead, the cold, curved titanium wall, and it seemed to flex. Not in a way that metal under pressure flexes, but in a way that geometry shouldn't. The pressure wave wasn't linear. It was altering the spatial dimensions of the habitat. The angles of the room were no longer constant. A corner would sharpen, then soften, like the room itself was breathing. I looked out of the viewport at the water outside, expecting to see murky blackness. Instead, the water was shimmering, not with light, but with absence. The water didn't vibrate with the sound. It unvibrated. It became impossibly still, a pocket of absolute zero motion in a churning ocean, before snapping back into place with a violence that made the whole submersible groan. The sound wasn't just passing through the water. It was changing its state, teaching it a new way to be. We've cut the power. We're sitting in the dark now, the emergency lights casting long, shifting shadows that don't quite make sense. As the impossible hum is louder now. Physical presence in the tiny cabin. We stopped transmitting hours ago. But the song, the infinite, impossible song, it hasn't stopped. It changed. When we went silent, it responded. The cadence shifted. The anti-sound pulses locking onto the rhythm of my own heartbeat. It's not a broadcast anymore. It's a conversation. It's learning us, mimicking the electrical signals in our own nervous systems. The water outside the viewport isn't water anymore. It's a lens. Through it, something is listening back. They hear us, and they answer it. They're telling us how to come apart. You only heard the beginning, you only heard the sound. But what happens when the sound starts showing you the impossible shapes? There's more data to recover, more truth that shouldn't be known. Subscribe for the next part, or don't miss entry 2.